In a moment, we'll have a conversation about Catalyst Campus with Don Conley of Catalyst Campus and Andy Merritt of O'Neill Group. But first, a quick update on interest rates. For the most part, the data we've received over the past several weeks are consistent with a soft landing, where a reduction in inflation is achieved without a large increase in unemployment. This has led to expectations that the Fed may be in a position to cut rates in 2024. And this belief has helped bring mortgage and other longer-term interest rates down in recent weeks. As expected, the Fed kept its target for the Fed funds rate unchanged at their recent meeting. The projections they released would be consistent with 3 quarter-point rate cuts over the next year, which is a bit less than what many markets and many forecasters are predicting. And now to our interview. So for those who aren't familiar with Catalyst Campus, could you please give us a little overview?
Yeah, so Catalyst Campus is an innovative space that brings together 3 different kind of factors that we look for. One of them is emerging tech companies, so some of that innovation, academia, as well as government partners as well. And we try to put all of those components together in order to be able to get the technology side by side with the government to accelerate innovation for the DoD.
And what are the main types of businesses that reside at Catalyst Campus?
So for the Catalyst campus here, we have 3 different campuses, but for the one in Colorado Springs, the main type of businesses are aerospace and defense, those types of emerging tech. It doesn't have to be that type of technology, though. Some of it is a dual use or a commercial technology that has some application and has something interesting for the government.
And I would add, what you'll see here is a mix of size of companies. The real purpose behind the campus was to help small companies deliver capability. But you have both small companies here as well as larger prime contractors, names that everybody would recognize immediately.
So, and what are the main advantages of being at Catalyst Campus versus a more traditional commercial real estate setting?
Yeah, so one of the best advantages is all of the activities and all the events that are going on here. So having the ability to have some of those conversations, to be side by side, to be able to kind of be in the ecosystem, it's definitely an area that's more geared towards collaborative, collision type of conversations versus a traditional real estate company is just your office. You don't have the opportunities for engagement. You don't have beer on tap. You don't have a lot of the happy hours or just opportunities to get together with the same tenants and the same partners that are here on campus.
And then you're also going to find a whole host of support services. So if you're a small company, you're good at certain things, but you're generally probably not good at everything. And so here you're going to find support services, the Small Business Development Center, the Veterans Business Outreach Center that can help you with how do I build my business? How do I grow that? What sort of programs am I eligible for? So there's a whole different range of things. Plus you can find people here who can help you with IP protection. So whatever it is you need, you're going to find either that service or people here on campus that have the same experiences, the same challenges, and can help you understand how to address those.
One of the things, one of the companies that kind of emerged out of Catalyst Campus is BlueStack. And one of the things, like to Andy's point, that they were able to do is to have access to different contract vehicles, be able to have some of the exposure and conversations with the government partner to understand what the need was, and then some of the contracts that are available through different partners and things here. It just gave them a step up and allowed them to really springboard forward.
And I know you also have an accelerator program there. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so our accelerator program is super, it's a great program. It's been in business for about 5 years. We've had about 13 different cohorts. It's a 3-month semi-residential program. What we'll do is we'll work with our government partners. We'll create the problem statement. We'll go out and do some tech scouting and figure out some tech companies that would be good to come in and bring into the campus. And then they sit side by side with the government partners and the commercial Sherpas over that 3-month program and really develop out some solution sets for the government so they're able to deliver some of their capability. It all culminates in a demo day, which is super well attended, and a lot of people get to see exposure to their technology that they have.
And it's had a great deal of success. I mean, the companies that have gone through it have collectively have won hundreds of contracts and hundreds of millions of dollars in funding through those contracts. So things that help those companies get going really fast.
Yeah, there's been about 87 companies that have gone through, and I think about 330 contracts that have been won. So really a good ratio when you look at it. Some of the things that happen too, a lot of these companies are really early trajectory and really early stage companies. 27 of those companies have pivoted their product, service, or capabilities as a result of being in the accelerator. So it helps them with their what they've got with their unique technology to be able to develop it out and make sure that it is appropriate and there's a market for it, right? So it really has helped these companies tremendously.
I think the economic impact from the accelerator through just that first group of companies Dawn's talking about is over $600 million.
Yeah, it's funded by the AFRL-RV, so the Air Force Research Lab. That directorate has invested about $3.5 million. So the ROI to the $600 million is quite impressive.
Wow, that's really fantastic. So how does the Catalyst Campus fit in with the rest of O'Neill Group's activities?
Really well, especially a big portion of our activities is defense companies. We're currently invested in 9 defense companies. And so this campus was really built out of Kevin O'Neill's experience in the defense industry and a desire to provide an environment to help small companies grow and to help them deliver innovations and capability to DoD. And so it's really kind of very complementary to what we do. So our companies that we invest in now aren't all here locally, so they're not all on campus, but BlueStack that Dawn mentioned earlier is one company that started on campus, and we got to watch it grow up and then eventually invest to help them continue their growth path. So it's very complementary to a good portion of what we do.
And there is a lot of accelerators and those type of events and efforts that are kind of going on across the country, but having VC funds and having some of the capital ability really is a differentiator for us because it allows us to offer kind of a pathway for the companies once they get through the accelerator, if there actually is a technology that fits and they are willing and happy to take some of the funding, there's an opportunity there, and we have that. That's something that's really different and unique that we are developing out. The fund just stood up, a month ago?
So,
right?
Yeah, to that point that Dawn's making, from seeing the needs of those companies here and realizing there was only so many we could help directly, but there were many more we could help if we had access to greater funds. We launched this year in partnership with the state of Colorado, what's called the Colorado One Fund. So it is a venture investment fund for seed and pre-seed companies. Half the money in that fund came from the state of Colorado, and the other half was private capital that we raised. So it's all about trying to help these companies here get access to more capital to continue to scale.
That's fantastic. Are there any other successes that you'd like to mention?
Caliola was another company here that went through the accelerator program. They were out of California, started in California by a couple, husband and wife team, and they moved out. They came out here to the accelerator program. It was so successful for them that they eventually relocated their company here to Colorado Springs, and they now have in excess of $300 million in government contracts. And during the course of the accelerator, they're one of those companies that pivoted their approach to the problem that Dawn mentioned earlier. And they've come up with great technology since then and are just scaling amazingly.
Yeah, and so there's been a couple other, there's a lot of companies that come through the accelerator. There's other companies like Hypergiant that are in our ecosystem that are experiencing success through their efforts and their contracts. We've had a lot of success in the Navy Forge too, so we have different contracts throughout the U.S. And really, I think the biggest success is being able to make sure that we're getting that technology and we're developing innovation, which really helps the government.
I think through 2021 was the last economic impact study done by UCCS for the campus. And through 2021, the campus had created almost 2,600 jobs here in Colorado Springs, just this location.
Well, that's fantastic. So what are you hoping to accomplish in 2024?
Yeah, that's a great question. We have a lot of things that we have for our initiatives. We have some specific contracts that we are looking at. They're called SBIR Sitters. So small business investment research and small business tech transfer. I butchered that.
Yeah, small business innovative research and small business technical transfer research.
So those are the types of contracts that we really feel are an amazing pathway for our companies to be able to deliver capability into the government. We also have a new lab here on campus that we're excited about. It's called the Space Domain Awareness TAP Lab. So it's really being able to track some of the space objects here out of Catalyst campus. They're coming through our accelerator in the spring. We'll have a lab here. We're doing some STEM work with them as well. So there's some really exciting opportunities with them as well. One thing that's really exciting too is we have the RISE grant, which is an NSF grant, so a National Science Foundation grant. Catalyst Campus is the prime, but we've brought together 8 community partners, UCCS being one of them, and we're able to work together and really try to drive an economic engine for this region. So we're in a 2-year developmental phase of the grant and looking to build a $10-year, $160 million grant that we're going to apply for. And we think we have a really good shot of being successful at that. So that's just a little bit of a snapshot with 2024. I know you've probably got a lot of things too that you guys are working on.
Well, we're really looking forward to investing in more companies. We made our first investment from that Colorado One Fund this year in a company here locally based out of Monument called Duality. And they've now set up an office here on campus. But we look to forward, our big success will be investing in more Colorado-based companies that we can help grow through campus and through the fund.
Tell us about your partnership with UCCS.
You know, it's really an exciting, innovative partnership that we have. Our founder has created a program where we're able to work together with UCCS. So there's a liaison that works between both organizations. One of the things that we really look for is academia, right? As we look at some of our ecosystem, and UCCS is a strong player in that ecosystem. And so through this partnership program that we have, we've been looking at different grant opportunities. We've been working on different events and different things with UCCS and have a really strong partnership and have just used the Bachelor of Innovation to have the students analyze the accelerator program. And they just did a presentation last week, which was really exciting.
Yeah, the workforce development opportunities are tremendous, and that liaison position is really helping enable that. Plus, just more collaboration with all the university faculty. It's been fun to see that start developing and growing because all these companies love having the relationship with the university, with both the academicians as well as with the students. And so we think those opportunities will continue to grow.
Wow, so it sounds like a very exciting year ahead. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us.
This is our last economic snapshot for 2023. We're taking a little break for the holidays. Since I became Forum Director in July, I really appreciated the support from our partners, as well as our fantastic team here at UCCS. That includes Bradley and Dane, who've done great work editing these videos every week. I'd also like to thank everyone out there taking the time to watch. We'll see you next year.